Howdy everybody, welcome to Step Into the Portal. My name is the Brandt, and I just got back from Gen Con 2021 out in Indianapolis. Got in at 2 a.m. and wanted to unbox all my games and things while my family is out for the morning. So I've got a lot of games stacked up here that I picked up and was able to get, and thanks to lots of publishers, so we'll go through those that were able to give me the games to review. You'll hear reviews on our podcast, the Portal Gaming Podcast, and you'll see playthroughs on the channel here, Step Into the Portal, of most everything. It's a matter of what I can get to and when I can get to it, and whatnot. So that is what's happening, but it's great if you are joining me. If you can let me know about my sound if you're watching. It looks like there's just a few people watching now, so my sound has a little buzz in it, and I cannot find it, so I just want to know that the sound is okay for people, and I apologize if you're watching this and saying, the sound is awful! What's going on? I'm not sure. I tried to switch out microphones, and it might be this light behind me is another idea, but there's a lot of electronics going on, so we'll have to see. So that is that. I hope you are doing well. I had a good time in Indianapolis. I came home a day early so that I could rest up for school, get a COVID test to make sure that I don't bring any harm upon my students. It sounds weird. That's not how I want to say that. To make sure that my students are well protected. It's the same thing, but we'll make sure we word it well. So what I'm going to do here is just kind of go through the games that I got, games that I bought, games that were given to me by publishers, and kind of live chat with people if people have questions about Gen Con or about any of the games, or if you're watching this later, go ahead and comment down below, give the video a thumbs up, and you can comment and let me know which games you're really excited to see. So maybe I can push those ones to the front of the queue to either live stream or review on the podcast, get played as soon as possible. So there is that. Thanks for joining me. I think we'll jump in here. So the first one is actually a game I got before. Wow, look at my microphone. It's just, I'm going to try to turn this down, and hopefully it's not too quiet now. It's showing it just peeking out. Makes me a little nervous. Oh well. Hopefully we will see. You know what? I'm actually going to check on my phone. Sorry. I just want to know that this sounds okay. Makes me a little nervous. Oh. Hopefully we will see. You know what? Nope, it sounds fine. So I guess it's just on my end. All right. Well, that is good to know. All right, so first things first, I actually don't have the pack, but on the way to the airport to go to Indianapolis, Nebula came into our store for Marvel Champions, so I picked up Nebula, and I had some sleeves, so I sleeved her up, and then I threw away the packaging because we were very tightly packed, so I don't have the packaging and put her in the box with the sleeves. So I have Nebula for Marvel Champions. And this was some of the most fun I had. I played Marvel Champions with Ryan Schroon from Man vs. Meeple, and I played as well with Roy Candidate from the Dice Tower. So we were able to play a couple games and use Mad Titan Shadow, which neither of them have copies of, so they were excited to play those because they're huge Marvel Champions fans. And I found out Z Garcia is too. He's been hiding on us, so he's enjoyed the game a lot as well. So if you haven't checked out Marvel Champions, definitely check it out. And I haven't sleeved the other cards, but that'll be a whole separate stream with Nebula and all those things. But I thought it was kind of fun. Literally, we drove to the store, picked it up, and then drove to the airport. And it wasn't until I got on the plane that I even opened the pack to look at the cards. So kind of fun there. All right, other things. Not as big a deal to all of you, but a big deal to me. So unfortunately, I made business cards, and they came in a day late, but figured I'd show you anyway. So my new business cards here, you can see with Step Into the Portal and with Portal Gaming Podcast. And then the other side, I put my address. I guess I won't necessarily show that, but for people to be able to ship to me. But those didn't come in, but I was excited to have new business cards, so that was exciting. My wife even tried to ship them to me, but it was just going to be too expensive. And they didn't even do overnighting, so there was that. All right, next up, I got this little game from Restoration Games, Omega Virus Prologue. I think I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. It feels like everything I'm showing right now is kind of small. There we go. All right. So I got this Omega Virus Prologue. Omega Virus is a game I played as a kid. It was like a talking game where you cooperatively were trying to shut down this virus that had taken over your ship. So This is the prologue version because Restoration Games is going to print this. So thanks to everybody over at the Restoration Boost, I guess specifically Justin Jacobson, because he is the one who owns the company and gave me a copy of the game. So this is a little card game that's going to introduce you to the ideas behind Omega Virus. So there's a little booklet here and a series of cards. I guess I won't open everything because I'm trying to not have this stream be hours and hours long because my family's going to come home and I want to hang out with them. But you can see these cards here, and you're going to play like a little card game. I think it's pretty short. But it was just a way to kind of like prep for the Omega Virus coming out. So that was the idea there. I'm excited for that one because I played that one as a kid. All right, that is set there. What is up next? So the next went and played some games at AEG with Todd from AEG. He's always really nice to us. And so I got to play this game 10, which is from Flat Out Games, which have made a bunch of popular games as of late. And so this is kind of one of their new ones. And I actually got a chance to play this with Brian, our store owner. Now it looks like I could zoom out again a little bit. Yeah, come on. All right, there we go. So 10 is like a push your luck card drafting auction game. It's really light. It's really simple. We played it with 2, and it didn't seem amazing with 2 people. There's a solo mode in here too, so I'm interested as to how solo plays comparatively. But essentially, you're just going to flip over cards until they add to 10. But these little market cards subtract from your value. So if I flip the 6 and then the 2, I'd have 4, and then I can flip the 5 to have 9. And you can just keep flipping until you bust. If you bust, then everybody gets the points on these as coins, as currency, I think it's called. And these cards go into like a market where they can be purchased. Or you can stop at any point, take all the cards, and you get the money that's on these. So you're trying to flip cards and collect sets to complete runs. So you want to have a run in a row, and however many in a row in each of the colors you have, that's how many points you score. If you get all 9 in a row, then you get 10 points, and you add up your points. So you win. If you bust, you get one of these white bust tokens, and the bust tokens are worth 3 currency. And you can also purchase a card from the market each turn, and that's kind of the idea. So I really want to play that with more people, so hopefully that'll get played soon. But that is 10 from AEG. All right, there's that one. I also got Crosstalk. So this is an older game. I actually just won this game. So we played Pinpoint over at Nauvoo Games. And they had a little Plinko board, and I managed to win. So I got a copy of Crosstalk, which is a really fun party game. Brian told me that he likes this one better than some of the other ones that we even play. And I was like, oh, okay. So I do remember playing this. I haven't played it in a little while. But this was a game that I won, so I brought this one home, and I played it 2 or 3 times, actually, but it's been a little while. It's 2017, and I played it in that year, so been a few years, but that is Crosstalk. I'm not going to open this one up for now, but just being a little bit of an older title and whatnot. All right, next up, I went over to Pandasaurus and spoke with Danny there, and Danny was nice enough to give me a few games, as well as chat about some upcoming games, so that was really fun. So one of the games I got was Wild Space. I don't know much about this other than it's a card game. I did not open this. Brian opened this. Actually, when I was playing Marvel Champions with Roy, he was opening some of the games, so I haven't played this yet. There's these promotional meeples that I got with the little ships, so those are cool. I guess to go with these ones. I don't know if they upgrade these ones. So I've got 2 sets of ships there and a whole bunch of square cards in here. Some tokens and some maybe player boards, common boards. So I don't know much about this game. I saw that they had it. I heard briefly about it. Admittedly, it said space, so I wasn't sure that Kathy would play this. She's not a space game fan, but then I kind of saw the artwork and I thought, ooh, I think Zephyr would like that. So you could see cards, it looks like, with different factions on them. And whatnot. It says a new galaxy has just been discovered on the borders of the Empire. Commanding your spaceship, go forth and explore this new El Dorado, full of mysterious treasures. Treasures and mysteries. Your discoveries will allow you to expand your crew, recruit specialists of all species, get help from robots, and catch the attention of Empire emissaries. Who will entrust you with the important missions? Who will be the wealthiest explorer in the galaxy? Well, I will, of course. Nice. No, it looks pretty fun. I like the colors. The colors are great. So, let me know if that's one you want to see on stream. And it is 1 to 5 players. So many games have solo mode that if it's not something my family's interested in, then it might be something that I can play solo. All right, this is Rift Force. So this is the game. Oh, I should have mentioned. So if you look in the corner here, you'll see I'm wearing my CG shirt, Capstone Games. So I work the Capstone Games booth with Clay and Tim and Justin and so many other people over there. And it's just an awesome time working at the Capstone Game booth. I have so much fun. It's busy, and I jump from game to game because I like being busy. That's more interesting to me than standing around. So we were very busy, but most of the time I was demoing Rift Force. I was also demoing Juicy Fruits for them and Rorschach. They had Iberian Gauge as well, which is a game that I totally would love to teach. I've never played it, so it just seemed tough to learn and teach, and there was somebody kind of dedicated to teaching that one, so that was the idea. But Rift Force is a two... Excuse me, I apologize. I'm laughing because I'm about to give you the exact pitch that I gave 100 times this week. But Rift Force is a 2-player dueling card game where there are 10 elements, and you shuffle them up, and each player gets 4. Each player gets 4 of the elements, and then you take the elements and you battle each other head-to-head over the rift. So that is kind of the pitch here. So you can see the different elements. I'm not going to crack all these cards, but you'll see you have these elements, or these elementals, and they tell you what they do. So what's neat is, on your turn, you're going to have a hand of these element cards. So like this is the lightning element, and they have health up here, and they're 5, 6s, or 7s. You get a point. You're battling for 12 points. You get a point each time you kill one of the elements, as well as there's a way to like control the board. The board has 5 spaces, or like these rift spaces, kind of a la Battle Line, which is why a lot of people say it reminds them of that. And what's really neat is on your turn, you can either play 3 cards, activate 3 cards, or you can draw back up to 7 cards and gain victory points for places you control. So that's it. It's really simple. What I was telling people as they were demoing it was like, I think the complexity is in its simplicity of rules. Because the rules are so simple and there's only a few things you can do, it actually makes the game complex, and timing becomes a big issue, which I've discovered I really like timing, like in Ashes, as a mechanism in these dueling games. So when you activate, each of the elements has a different power. So you activate that power. These fire elementals deal 3 damage, and then 1 damage to their friend who might be behind them, because you can stack them. So they deal a lot of damage. Typically units deal like 2, but they deal 3 and then 1. But each of the 10 have different... what do I want to say? Each of the 10 have different abilities that they do, and so that's what makes the game unique, is those combos and triggering all those powers. Recommended for the Kennerspiel Award in 2021. Totally great game. 210 combinations. From each of the guilds, you can see kind of the rift there. Hold that up just a little bit more. And I was demoing this game, and I took a copy home so I could play it. So thank you to Clay and everybody over there for giving me that. Actually, while I'm on that one. So check out Rift Force. That should be in stores soon. Should be in our store and other places. It's a great 2-player game. You can pull it out of that box, put it in a deck box, and go to town. Also, Capstone is now publishing TERRA Mystica, my previous #1 game ever, until Gaia Project came out. And I actually got rid of my TERRA Mystica. So my wife, Kathy, likes TERRA Mystica better. So Clay was nice enough to get me a copy of TERRA Mystica to have and play again. And fun story, while we were there, we actually played Gaia Project with Isaac Childress from Gloomhaven. He's Cephalofair and Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion, all that stuff. And got to play Gaia Project with him because I think that's like his favorite game. And it was really a lot of fun because I really like Gaia Project. I'm actually excited to go back to TERRA Mystica because the fun part of this game is these asymmetric powers. these factions are extremely different. So I'm used to the Gaia Project ones. Now I'll go back to the TERRA Mystica ones and be like, oh, right, those factions. So thank you to Capstone Games for giving me that. A game I purchased was Furnace from Arcane Wonders. And Furnace was a big game at the convention. People were really excited about this one. Engine building game. So I opened this one in the airport. It's also Hobby World. And it is a light engine building auction game. So you have a series of cards that you're going to lay out. And, sorry, my zoom is only if I reach up. So bear with me. So you lay these cards out, and then you're bidding with your auction tokens. And you've got like a 1, 2, 3, 4. And everybody who doesn't win the card, they multiply this bonus on top by their bid. So if you don't win, you get whatever's on top. The winner gets the card, and then after that, there's a phase where everybody triggers their cards, and you're turning resources into money and other items. I think the cards are two-sided. You can upgrade them as well. But it's very basic in that structure. Like you bid, you get the bonus if you don't win, and then you get the card if you do win, and then you trigger all of your cards to try to get wealth. It plays over 4 rounds. Whoever has the most money at the end wins. Very popular game. People were definitely seeking that one out. There was lots and lots of copies. They were restocking every day. So I picked one up. Oh, and I also picked up the mat, which stores in the box. You can see I didn't want to take all this out of the baggies because I was on the plane. So it's not super neat in here. But the play mat I got as well. And the play mat stores in the box. So that was nice. It didn't seem to roll up and store in there, but it definitely folds and stores in there. Not too shabby. Well, it's not going to store well now, but I'll get it. So that was kind of the exciting feature, is that it fits in the box. I didn't quite get it back in, but I'm not going to worry about it for now to keep moving. So that is that. Check out that game coming from Arcane Wonders very soon, I believe. Kind of the story of the convention, I would say, was shipping. You know, are games going to be there? Are they not going to be there? That was kind of the big thing happening. I have more games. I just was going to come up here for a second. Shipping seemed to be the big part. So it felt like a lot of the games that were there were very close to being in stores, and a lot of games that weren't there were delayed, and so they unfortunately weren't there for the publishers and probably won't be there for us in the stores very soon. But I think patience is a good thing for us all to learn. Like, these are games, these are fun. Sorry, for us as consumers, for us as retailers and publishers, it's very sad because obviously there's people whose jobs depend around these games selling and everything. So I don't want to downplay that in any way. But that was a lot of it. Brian attended a lot of the trade day with the publishers and other events, and it was, shipping woes. And then at the convention, there were several games there that are going to release very soon. Within the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks. There wasn't a lot of games that are like coming at Christmas time necessarily. And there definitely were some of those, and they are on track to ship. But that was kind of a big piece. All right, next up, I got a game kind of from my childhood, like teenage years, I believe. The Rocketeer from Funko Games. So they were nice enough to give me this copy for review. And so Rocketeer is a movie, I think it's Disney, in the 90s. Where a guy gets hold of a rocket, a jetpack, and then, goes around kind of being heroic, and there's people who want it. It's on Disney Plus, so you can check out the movie. But it was a pretty big movie when I was a kid. It felt like people knew about it, and it takes place in the, I want to say the 1920s is when it takes place, but I don't know exactly. I don't think I'm totally wrong. I mean, it could be the 1930s. But that's when the movie takes place. Does it say here? Trouble is brewing. Nope, doesn't say that. It's a 2-player game. Takes 45 minutes. There are miniatures in here. I'm going to try to get this open. I know people hate these stickers. I don't like them. I guess it's to save plastic wrap, which in some sense is nice to not have plastic. But, they tear these boxes at times. Although, look at me. I have torn no box, so if that is a major fear of yours, doing well so far. So yeah, feel free to comment about any of the games, or if there's games you want to see, or know more about, I could do more with them. I'm not doing full unboxings of all these, but I will try to open most of them up in some format or another. So yeah, I mean, they're a little bit of a pain, and then I know the box can, well, actually the box is not sticky at all on any of these, but this can certainly throw people off. All right, here we go. So let's open that up and check out The Rocketeer. I wish I remembered the music. I can't remember the music. It probably is memorable to a lot of people. So here's the board. This will fold out, and then there are locations in here. Oh, this is the rulebook. And these miniatures. Prospero Hall does such a great job. So you can see various miniatures of the gang members, I believe. Mafia members. And here is the Rocketeer himself. And the guy who helps him with all the science of it. And his female lady interest. And then the big part is the Zeppelin that's in the game. So we've got the Zeppelin there as well. And then there seems to be a series of cards here and here. Oh, wow. Lots of cards. So this is a $25 price point. So nice and cheap. And you're going to play cards to the various locations. I don't know very well. I'm just kind of showing you what's here. I guess I'll open this one. I'm trying to make it somewhat interesting without opening every piece and figuring everything out for each game. But you can see some of the rule book here, playing the various cards to the locations. So let's open this, and then we can go from there. So this must be the fold-out board. I like that picture a lot. That's the helmet that they make him. Puts a rudder on his head so he can steer. I'm not sure the physics are. So yeah, I think you're battling over these locations and people. So we see the Observatory, the South Seas Club, the Sinclair Mansion, 1635 Palm Terrace, Bulldog Cafe, and the Chapel Airfield. Nice. I am definitely excited for this one. They do such a great job with their IPs and games, so I expect this to be a lot of fun. I just need to find a nostalgic Rocketeer person for that. All right, absolutely gorgeous game here, Cascadia. This is from AEG and Flat Out Games. You see that cover there. And again, Todd was nice to give this one to us. I'll actually grab the other one in a second. So Cascadia is a tile-laying game. Really seems to be popular. I have not played it. Brian said he did play it, and it was great. Comes with this nice bag, score pad is all in here, and then these great tokens. Look at this artwork, is gorgeous. You've got grizzly bears and elk, red foxes, and salmon, and hawks or eagles. They look like hawks. And all these gorgeous, gorgeous tiles, art from Beth Sobel. I mean, you know you're just in for a treat when you open a game like this. And then these bright, colorful wooden tiles with all the different animals on them. I mean, this is just something I can't wait to play with Kathy and Zephra. It's just going to be awesome. So nice, nice. And I hear it's a great game, so that should be very exciting. That is Cascadia. It's designed by Randy Flynn from AEG. And again, thank you to AEG for giving us a copy of this to play and to review. So look for that. Also, last thing we got from AEG was Whirling Witchcraft. And we played this one with Todd from AEG at the demo night. And Whirling Witchcraft is this kind of, I guess I should open it up. It's this interesting game where it's just kind of like a really fast engine builder. You're playing cards, and then the cards give you recipes that you can make, and you can use those recipes. Come on. Good plastic on this one. I don't have anything sharp up here either, do I? Nope. Oh, there we go. All right. So you can fulfill the recipes to create new items. What would they be called if they're going in potions? I don't know. I can't think of the word. But you create items that you then hand over to your neighbors. So you've got these cauldrons that are kind of three-dimensional, and you put the things in the cauldrons and pass them to your neighbor. And kind of really fun there. Oop. Give me 1 second because my daughter is calling. All right. My daughter calling to order me lunch, so I apologize for the break there. So anyway, when you get the resources, you're then going to put them on this board, and anything that overflows, you give back to the person on your left, and that scores them points when somebody gets to 5 points. You're basically just trying to overload your neighbor, but you're giving them more and more resources, which they can then spend. So the engine, it just gets kind of out of control in a good way, would be the best way that I would describe that. So that is a really fun, like, party style game. Like, not party like word party, but otherwise. So, Whirling Witchcraft, thanks to AEG. I'm not going to open this one up for now. Kind of an older title that I picked up. I bought this. This is Santa's Workshop. So there's a big Rio Grande booth that's, or it's not officially Rio Grande. There's a big booth that sells old Rio Grande titles, and this is one I've been trying to get my hands on, perfect for the holiday season. Obviously, and they had a copy, and it was like, buy a bunch of games, get a percentage off. So between Brian and I, we bought a bunch of games. Actually, Brian bought a bunch of games, and I added Santa's Workshop to the list and picked up a copy of this. So I'm kind of excited to play this. I've heard good things, especially from the people on Gaming All-Stars. Oh, incomplete fade, yeah. It should be better now. Sorry about that. Thank you. Oops, I must have not faded the whole way. That's funny. No, I just wanted you to have something to say. That means some of those games might have been tough to see. I apologize, everybody. I didn't fade it all the way over before. So sorry to any of those games that were tricky to see. But I'm not going to open this one for now, just being an older title. And when I'm totally excited for it. I don't know if this is something we're going to stream, so I just figured I'd show you that I picked that one up. But that's Santa's Workshop. All right, also while I was at Pandasaurus, they gave me The Loop. So this is a big new co-op game that people are excited for. Some of these games get bigger now, so I'll... and this one I did play. We played 2 players. It was really hard. We lost one game in 3 turns, the next one in 10 turns. I don't know how many turns. I mean, it's 21 turns, and then it's an auto loss, so I guess 10 was halfway. There was some promo stuff in here. But I can set this one up. Can I set this one up? So what's happening, it's a co-op game, and this Dr. Foe is trying to mess with time and space. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Sorry, everybody. All right. So you are trying to stop the Mad Doctor. You're trying to complete all these different missions. You lay the board out like this, and then there's this little device that goes in the center. And as each turn you kind of draw a card and it tells you which of these areas you're going to, and you aim the center there and then draw a bunch of cubes. The Doctor is placing clones in each of these areas, and so for each clone you have to drop a cube plus I think 2 cubes, and they go out into the various places, and when these get to 4, they explode and there's like a vortex or something, and if there's three or four vortexes, I apologize, I can't remember, then you lose the game. But meanwhile, there are these mission tiles that are here, and they're telling you what you're trying to do. So we're trying to destroy one of his clones in his era. So his era is where the center points 4 times. And if you do that, you complete that mission, and when you get a certain number of missions done. It comes with multiple ways to play the game, but it was very hard for us 2-player. We were not doing well at that, but it did seem fun, and it's a very, very nice production. So I'm excited to play more of that, which is always kind of the interesting part of a co-op. Like, you don't necessarily have to win or do well, you just have to want to play more. Like, that's what co-ops come down to me. Whatever the result is doesn't matter because it's cooperative, but I want to be able to play more. Oh, I hope I didn't mess that image up too bad. Just a mistake. All right, so that is the loop, and thank you to Pandasaurus for giving us a copy of that to play and review. Next up from Plan B Games, Equinox. So I got this one because you can see this cover is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, sorry. I won't mess this up again. All right. So yeah, this cover is gorgeous, and it's Reiner Knizia. This is a re-implementation. I don't remember the game. Titan Arena, I want to say it's called. Something like that. So it's a re-implementation of that game. Gorgeous, gorgeous cover. Plan B was nice enough to give us a copy. They also had the new Great Western Trail, which looked like it was going to be awesome. But I do have a copy of Great Western Trail already, so I figure I'll pick up the new one either when they make the new, like, different version, because they're going to make 3 versions, or when they when I play my old version a little bit more. I think it is a game I've played a little bit more frequently with other people in the last couple of years on their copies. Or last 2 years specifically, I think is what I'm looking at. All right, so here's this game. Plan B Games, Pretzel Games, Next Move, Eggertspiel, Plan B. So they got all their games in here. Plan B is like Azul, Century Spice Road, Junk Art, Camel Up. So that's what they've got in their collection. So here's your rule book. It looks kind of wordy instead of picture-oriented, so not a lot to show you there. But you can see Reiner Knizia games always have this, so it looks like it comes down to this. So we got, wow, look at this. These really nice draw bags, which looks like these tokens, which are very interesting. We'll go in. Wow. Those are heavy, heavy plastic. That's interesting. Those are neat. I have not seen that in a game. And then just a bucket of cards. So these tarot-sized cards. Looks like 2 giant decks of these with the really nice artwork on here. Kind of a satyr or a goat and an elk. Fantastical elk, perhaps. So, yeah. I mean, that looks exciting in the way that I'm thinking it's going to be exciting. It looks like these chips might store right in here. And that's what's in the box. So we'll check out Equinox. This is actually in our store right now, I know as well. So be able to play this and let you know. And, you know, if it's in our store, I assume it's in your local store if you're not local to us here in Connecticut. That happens sometimes on the stream. People will be like, where's your store? Where's the portal? So it's in Manchester, Connecticut. Manchester is just 2 towns over from Hartford. And Hartford is right on the diagonal line between New York City and Boston. So if you're traveling anywhere kind of in New England or between New York and Boston, boom, you can stop right by our store. It's 10 minutes from Hartford, so it's really fast. And it is right off of Interstate 84, which is the highway that takes you to Boston. So that is where we are. Or if you happen to travel to Hartford for business, there's a lot of business in Hartford. You can jet out at night, come over to our store, play a game, check it out. The Portal in Manchester, Connecticut. ThePortalCT.com is where you can find that. All right, I got this one for my wife. She is not a knitter. She is a crocheter. But this is a game about knitting, and it was cool. They did like yarn bombing all over Indianapolis to promote this game, which was really neat. Arch Ravels. So you're competing with your yarn to make various things, and there's patterns and things in here. So 30 to 45 minutes, 2 to 4 players. Looks really neat. Awesome theme here. There's so many games with very similar themes. It's great to see a different theme. Let's get crafty. Sounds good. And oh, I should say this is XYZ Game Labs. XYZ Game Labs. And this one was one that they gave us to play and to review. So that was really nice of them there. Very colorful. Here's our rule book with all of our parts and pieces. Nice. Again, a little wordy for showing on stream and worrying about that. That's not a bad thing. Just, I don't know if the rulebook does a bunch. So we got tokens here. More punch board tokens. Looks like I lost a scarf. Scarf. They're actually really nice tokens. They're really thick. They punch out easy. Wow, look at this. Game trays in here to store all the pieces. That's serious business. And a whole bunch of tokens to track for maybe colors, I'm going to guess. And then we've got a board in here. Looks like drafting. Goes this way. Double-sided. Nope, but really colorful on the back. And some little bowls to hold all the tokens. This is really nice. Wow, I had no idea. I was just excited about the theme. And then some characters, looks like. He could be Ted or Eliza. Ooh, they're all double-sided. Neha, Derek, Rebecca, Alex. I think it's Omara. I apologize. And Theo. Nice. So lots of different characters. All knitting. Looks like some goal cards. Some knitting cards. Lots of cards. Wow. This is a absolutely gorgeous production. So cheers to you, XYZ Labs, because this shocked me when I opened it. And that is a good thing. Maybe sad that I didn't expect that or whatever. That wasn't my intent, but I just didn't know the game trays and the bowls and the beautiful tokens and all that stuff. So I am excited to play this one. Arch Ravels. Thanks again to XYZ Game Labs. All right, so that side is done. Ooh, that actually just leaves us with 2 games left, huh? All right, so the first one here, got a chance to see Sam Healy over at Mythic Games. So Sam works at Mythic Games, and I believe he was on the live show as well for the Dice Tower, so that was exciting for a lot of people to get to see Sam. And I had played this game in its original format when it was kickstarted, I assume with Gindi. And then Mythic picked it up in their Phoenix line, which I think is bringing back games that already existed. And did this Ultimate Pledge of Enchanters. And this is a card game, so it's actually a huge box for a game that is, you know, pretty short. But there's a lot of content in here. So we'll see if we can get this open. Maybe from a corner. And check out what's in here, because I've been dying to see what's in here. Don't ask how we got these on the plane. Got home. It worked. Everything was legal. Yeah, it was tricky. So this box isn't super heavy. It's mostly cards in here, I believe. And play mats. But this is a neat game that I played a while back, and I'm really, really excited for this. I have high hopes with all this stuff in here, and that them bringing this game back will really make it popular. I mean, this is an absolutely amazing production. That art is gorgeous. So let's see what's in this box, because I have been waiting to open this. All right. Conversion tables for all the tokens based on the rulebook, because it's like the Kickstarter edition. Here's all the oh my goodness. Okay, base game, Overlords expansion, Odyssey expansion, East Quest expansion, rule book, 1,018 normal cards, 85 big cards, all these tokens. Wow, okay. Your first game. So there's a quick setup rule that will be helpful to get me in and playing my first game. And then tokens for all the player colors and power wheel. I don't think the game, there might be a co-op mode. I know there's a solo. I know there's a verse mode. There might be a co-op mode. So there's a playmat in here. Gigantically gorgeous playmat. Or maybe 2? Oh, there's individual player mats. Wow. All right, so they spared no expense here, is what happened with this game. So we've got this regular playmat. I think the verse game is you're fighting against a boss, and you're trying to take the boss down and then see who has the most points at the end. But it's not super co-op. It just happens to be like when the boss is dead, the game is over. But I think then there's like make the boss harder, and it's focused on beating the boss to win the game as a group. So I think this is solo co-op and verse, but apologies to Mythic Games if I am wrong on that and telling you the wrong thing. So yeah, big old playmat. Individual player playmats. And then just cards. So here are oversized cards for heroes and things. And then essentially what happens is you start, I don't even know where to start because there's so much stuff. Tokens, all that stuff is in here. More tokens. And then storage to sort this all out because there's so many cards in here. Bins. Okay. Playmat will go here, other playmats, more cards. But essentially what happens is you can have a card on your left and a card on your right. I can't find the right-hand cards at the moment. So somewhere here. Any of these? No. They must just be tucked in here. Wow, okay. So there's one, you have a card like a weapon and a title or something like that, and as you play the card, you get different bonuses, and they might have, like, I think this adds to your attack, and then if I cover this card, I'll still add 1 to my attack, but I'll lose the bonus, and you're just, like, drafting to get more and more cards. It sounds super basic, but it was really fun when I played it, and I really look forward to getting a chance to play this again, because I remember really enjoying it and telling people about it, and when I saw that they had it, I really wanted to get a copy, and Sam was nice enough to get us a copy. So thank you to Mythic Games for doing that. I'm going to see if I can fit all this back in here. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of cards to sort through. This is one that I would like to stream, so I hope people want to see this one. But let me know if it looks interesting to you. Nice big box here. And then there were some promo cards as well that I was given. Hey, and that one's got the thing on the other side. So Conquest Horseman. Oh, I think these are things you fight. So yeah, this is enemies you fight. Maybe that's why it wasn't on the other side. But I just remember you have 2 cards and you can stack, and it's like engine building as you go through. So yeah, big box card game. Lots of expansions. But that looks great. I'm so glad they brought that back. And I cannot wait to play. All right. And then last... This is the one I had to get on the plane with me. Didn't fit in our luggage, and it is 22 pounds. Oof. So this is from Succubus Publishing, and this game is called Madara, and it is a dungeon crawl game inspired by JRPGs. And this is Unintentional Malum Act 1. So we joked all the time. I was carrying this because we had to take multiple planes home. I'm carrying it plane to plane. And holding this as my personal item on the plane. But we got this one home, so let's open it up. It is extremely heavy, something like 22 pounds. Oof. Oh my goodness. Wow. I hope people like unboxings. That's what I did a lot of here today. I will mention while I'm doing this that this is not a full recap of Gen Con on this video. You can listen to episode of the Portal Game Podcast. Normally we drive home from Gen Con and we talk in the car, but since we're taking the planes, it was harder to talk on a plane or in the airport into a recorder. So Brian and I are going to record something hopefully this week. Probably end up being short with kids and work and everything, but we'll try to do a 30-minute recap of Gen Con and get that up on the Portal Game Podcast feed. All right, so this is Madara. So first you can see there are 44 sculpts, I was told. So you can see these 3 giant ones over here. 10, 20, yeah, looks about right. All right, so we'll take those miniatures out. Just see if we can look at a few of these. Wow. Okay. So we got this one here. You see that better. And this one with the wings is really cool. I don't know if these are heroes. I assume they look like heroes. See the wings. And what else is cool? Like this one with the double hammers. It's pretty neat. So we got miniatures. Check. Okay. Miniatures. Giant miniatures. Have to look at those, right? Wow. There's a lot in this box. All right, we got 2 of these creatures. So yeah, this is inspired by JRPGs, and I can actually see that in some of these sculpts and things. I see. So these aren't giant. I mean, they're still giant, but they're kind of halves. Wow. And that is like a spider lady on top of something. Pretty big sculpts there. Amazing what they do. All right, and then looks like there is a lot of cardboard and paper in here. So it's something like 400 tokens. So we got a layer here, and then a big old book. The dice breakdown. And the cover with the rule book. So lots of color pictures in that rule book. Looks thorough. So hopefully that makes it a good rule book. Probably is. All right, and then we've got the crawl book, the diagram book. I don't know what I'm supposed to look in. I'm just going to go through the pages quickly here. And the crawl book. All right, so this looks like kind of story. Oh, okay, it's got this red, so you can't read. Looks like it's like a storybook and another one. Reward offer, difficulties, a bounty pack. So there's more things to do. That is neat. Lots of cards, baggies, dice. Lots of very different dice. Shield dice, book dice, star dice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow, there's like not a lot of any color. So there's like 10 different colors there. With the dice, bases, more bases for standees, it looks like. Large hidden card deck. Okay, there you go. And some bosses of some sort. Wow, this looks great. Cards, and then, whoa. Okay, here's where the weight is. Look at this book. The adventure book is that thick. This is very heavy, several pounds. And I guess we'll just flip to page 1. Introduction, using the book, diagrams, and then the adventure for all the characters. Well, that is neat. Okay. Wow. There's a lot here. Adventure sheet. Assume there's just paper on the bottom there. Let's see. Looks like these are boards. Moving on. And then I'm going to guess under here are tokens, boards. All right, guess we got to get under there. Lots of cards, decks of cards, magic items. I don't think it'll be the most exciting unboxing to go through all of those. And then there's a sheet here. And these must be tokens. Yep. Oh my goodness. This is going to be a lot to work on. All right, so tokens, 4 giant sheets of tokens, and then maybe some kind of overworld board. Yep. And then the overworld board. All right, so I got my work cut out for me here. Now that I have this and need to get through all of this. We'll see how that goes, and now that I got that home, there's that. Look at this book. I don't even know where to begin with that. They did tell me that they felt like if I got through chapter 1 into chapter 2, that it was okay to review at that point. So obviously that's probably going to be what I do, because this looks like this could be a year plus to get this game played to do a full review. So I'm gonna go off of what they said. Chapter 1 is here, and I don't really see where chapter 2 starts. Not well labeled, but they said that was plenty of campaign to get through to then be able to do a review, so you could hear that. I'll probably play the first one of these live and then see how it goes and go from there. But that is Madara. All right, I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if there's a lot of people watching with me. It is a Sunday morning. We got a handful of people here, so feel free to say hello. Let me know if there's anything in here that looked of interest to you or any questions you have on any of these. Quite an eclectic mix of games with this giant co-op RPG style game and a big box deck building style game and thematic games with our travels and light games and heavy games like TERRA Mystica. Like, it's all over the map. But that tends to be how I game. I play most every style and everything. I enjoy them a lot. I mean, even these little ones here. So I know a lot of people watch the channel for Marvel Champions, so we'll definitely have Marvel Champions. We've got Nebula and Mad Titan Shadow, so I'll probably be alternating. You'll see a lot of Marvel Champions because I like playing Marvel Champions and I like bringing the new content. You can go over to Beat the Game channel, Steve at Beat the Game, and you can watch our first 3-player expert. We fought Ebony Maw for the Mad Titan Shadow campaign, so that expert campaign will be over on his channel. I think it just makes sense to have more things over there and not have him playing through the expert campaign and we're playing. Well, I don't know. That sounds weird, as though we're one channel. We are not one channel, so it would be fine for that. But I'm going to be putting those plays over there with him, so you can watch those. But I will do other things, and I've got a lot to play here. So all this is not going to be possible to be streamed. This is, I mean, for me, doing 2 streams a week, this is going to be, you know, gosh, through next year. And Madara itself is going to be a lot. So let me know what you want to see streamed, and kind of some of those things will rise to the top and get to those earlier. But I will get through all these. I will get them reviewed on the podcast. Again, that's the Portal Game Podcast if you want to subscribe there. Did an episode right before Gen Con. Hopefully have one out late this week once Brian and I get a chance to record that. Kind of a short recap, but we'll talk through all the things we did and what we saw. Overall, I thought it was a great Gen Con. People were masked. Those noses were covered. I was super excited. Did not see a lot of people, you know, that I was, oh no, this is very nerve-wracking. I feel great. Got no con crud. Had an awesome time. But now I'm going to rest up and get ready to go back to teaching. And I will catch you sometime this week. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and commenting and giving the video a thumbs up if this is something you liked seeing. And for joining me live in the chat as well. But until next time, I'm the Brandt, and I hope you step into the portal. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thanks for watching.